Hello, this is Joe Price, the director of the BYU Record Linking Lab, and I'm just going to give a little demo about how to do a community reconstitution project. So I'm going to show you how to do it using the 1900 census. So we hit search and then records, and then over here we will type in United States Census, and then we'll just scroll down and hit the 1900 census. Okay, now we're going to pick a residence place. Someone asked me to do Burlington, Wyoming, so I'm going to click that, and I'm going to do exact. And then one thing we're going to do just to get started, to make our life a little easier, just to get kind of have a little more narrow scope, I'm just going to focus on those that were children in Burlington, Wyoming in that year. Children are better to start with because they're usually embedded in families, and that allows us to focus on families to start with. So we're going to hit search. Okay, so we have 373 results that show up, and as you look down right here where my point, you can see these little tree icons over on the right, and those are people that are already on the tree. So we're going to start with Musa Stephenson because she's not on the tree because we don't see a pedigree icon there. So we click on Musa. Okay, so here is the information about Musa. We can see that she was born January 1895. She was born in Montana, and then she's living here with her parents. So let's copy that information and hit Control-C. Then we're just going to open a new window in Family Search. Okay, and then we're just going to go to the person page of any person. So I can go here to the person page. And then we're going to add her as an unconnected person, and then try to connect her to the tree. So I hit Recents, I hit Add Unconnected Person, and I'm going to just copy her name in there. She's female, she's deceased, and then I come over here and I copy her birth date. Okay, and then I standardize it, and then I remember that it was Montana. Okay, so we are now adding her to the tree, and now the key thing is to look right here, and it's going to start to show us some possible people that might be her. So this first one's actually looking really good. Let's see what we know about her. We can click right here. We see she was born in Montana. Her parents are Robert and Musa, and so if we come over here, we have A.B. Stevenson. So this might be our person. So what we're going to do is let's go take a look. So we're not going to add a new person to the tree this time. We're going to go take a look at this person. Okay, so here is Musa Mary, and notice that Robert Bruce was born in 1860, so that matches up with this age over here of 40. And notice that what probably happened is that A got misindexed, and it should have been an R, so we'd have an R.B. Stevenson. And then notice the mom was born in, she's 26, so right here she was born in 1874. So everything here is matching up perfectly. And then what we do then is we just check over here in Record Hints, and we hit Show Details. And now notice that we're not finding that record here in Record Hints. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Search Records tab and try to find that. And then the nice thing is we can actually come over here and just make sure everything lines up. So 1895 Montana, Musa Stevenson. So here we go. Let's take out her middle name. We've got Montana. That should match up. Let's just kind of take information away because sometimes that can... and so here we go. And so there's that record that we were looking for. We'll click on that. We'll attach the family tree. And so now we've connected all those people. And so now the next time we go look at that record, she will have a pedigree. So now she's good. Okay, so that was a pretty easy one. We find this happens a lot of the time. It's just a matter of connecting the record to the person. So let's go back to our search results. We'll keep scanning down here. So these all have trees. Here's our next one, Ethel. Now she's a niece. So let's kind of skip that one for now. Nieces and nephews are a little harder to work with because we can't really embed them in a family unit. So we can come back to them. Here we have Frances David. She's a daughter. So we're going to click on this. Okay, so here we have the information. Again, remember you just copy that and close this window. We come back here. We're going to hit Recent, Add Unconnected Person, and we're going to add that in. She's a female. She's deceased. She was born January 1894, and she was born in Pennsylvania. Okay, so we're going to put this information in there. And again, when we hit Next, it's going to look and see if there's any already on the tree. And so now we're going to have to look. So we have January 1894, Pennsylvania. Let's remember who the parents were. The parents were Charles and Anna. So we're kind of looking down this list to see if we have anyone that matches up with our person. So this might be not really enough information to know just yet. So we're going to create a new person. Okay, so now Frances David is on the tree. Now we're going to go look for that census record that we already had, and it'll come up here. So we can click here, and now we're going to attach it to the family tree. Okay, so now we have our person on the tree, and a lot of times when we're attaching this, we'll find out that other people in the family are already on the tree, and then that's when we can just then, what I would do is I'd copy the code of this person, I'd go to the person that was already on the tree and put that family back together. In this case, we're going to be adding the father to the tree, so here we put in Charles. We're going to hit create a new person. Okay, and sometimes at this point, it'll pop up someone who's already on the tree, and that's great. Okay, in this case, we've just added the father. Now we're going to add the mother. So you see here that one of those might be it. Now there isn't really enough information to know for sure, so we're going to create a new person. We're going to take off her last name because that's a married name, not a maiden name. We'll add her to the tree. Okay, so in this case we're adding an entire family to the tree, and each time we add a person to the tree, there's a chance that we'll bump into someone that's already on the tree. And if we do that, then we'll use that as a starting point, and then we'll start to merge people we might have added to the tree that were already there. Okay, so now we've added this family to the tree. Okay, so notice here we have someone who might be our person. This is an interesting match. We've got Charles David. If this is the right Anna, then it'll be Anna Winslow. Now I don't think it's enough actually to make the decision right away, but I'm going to copy that code right there, and I'm going to create a new person. Okay, and then I'm going to add there. Okay, now from here, all we're going to do is we're just going to do what we would do if this was our own family on the tree. We're going to start to attach other sources, look for death dates, see if we can find the spouses of Fred and Bruce, and we'll keep branching out until we crash into someone on the tree. Let me just, at this point, it's hard to know how long it would take. You know, sometimes it'll happen within a couple minutes. Sometimes it might take a little more time. All along the way, I often will hit possible duplicates, see if those come up. Now there's no record hits showing up right away, but the last thing I'll do sometimes, now notice that Charles H. David is having record hints show up, so we can see here he is with a spouse, Anna. Now again, we're going to have to use some judgment about whether this is the right match. It's not looking super promising, but one thing we can also do is we can go check on, I'm actually going to do this for one of the kids. We'll do it for, let's do it for Bruce because he's the one that showed up as a possible match. So notice he does have a marriage record. Let's see which one that is. So this is married with Anna Winslow. So let's see. So here we have, again, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to reach out to Ancestry and see if it might have some clues that I can use. And one thing when you hit the Ancestry tab, always remember to hit Edit Search and then turn on Family Trees, because Family Trees can be a really fantastic way to do that. Now, this is the record we are already working with, so let's start there. Now notice here it says that his name, someone put in a user correction of Daxon, or an alternate name. Looks like over here they're mostly showing up as Bruce C. David. We can also hit here, and sometimes this will give us another way to find a possible record. So you can see this one right here. Here we have Bruce C. David with Charles H. David and Anna Winslow. Someone else is thinking that same thing. Here's another one with a lot of records. So let's actually go here. We've got 14 attached records, 15 sources, and oh, this is a private tree. I didn't notice that from out here. It looked like a public tree to begin with. But notice that it does look like a lot of people seem to feel like the mom is Sarah Ann Winslow. Let's take a look at this one right here. Okay, and notice there's that 1900 census, which is that record that we were looking at. So now we're feeling a lot more confident that that Bruce C. David is probably the one that we saw from before. So we can come here, we can look at possible duplicates, and so now we're going to merge this duplicate. Okay, so here's Bruce C. David, here's his wife, and here's his parents. So notice that now we've attached, we've connected those parents, now we can go merge them as well. And so then I would take some time to merge those. Again, I would keep adding sources and extending out, but at this point we've actually connected with the tree through, through Ruth. But again, easy way to merge these parent duplicates is I'd copy that code, and then I'd hit possible duplicates. I'd come in here. Oh, now notice, see, we're getting some other possible duplicates, and so one of the things we might discover is that we can come in here and do a lot of cleaning and tighten this family up, and we'll find that they're part of the family tree. With that, I'm going to stop this recording, and I hope this has been helpful. Again, remember the main steps is we start from this screen, we look for someone who's not already on the tree, We use that information. We click that button under Recents for Add Unconnected Person. We put the information in, and then at this point it just becomes then a normal family history task where we're adding sources, expanding out, and we're doing this until we crash into the tree. And our whole goal is that all the families from this community will eventually become part of the tree, and so that when other people from that community come onto the tree, they'll discover how they're connected to each other and have a really great experience on the family tree.